All right, let's dive into a really baffling case. It's built entirely from official surveillance footage. Just one recording from a single night that has completely stumped everyone who's seen it. And yeah, that includes the police.
So, we're opening up the case file, and it's officially marked unexplained. The evidence is pretty simple, really. You've got one camera, one empty store, and one very, very strange night. Let's look at the facts exactly as they were found.
And this is the part that really gets me. This isn't just some spooky story from the internet. Law enforcement actually reviewed this footage, and even they walked away without any logical answers. They were just as confused as anyone else.
Okay, Section 1, a store after dark. Our story kicks off inside a quiet, totally normal-looking convenience store long after closing time. So you might think this camera was set up for, catching shoplifters, but nope, it was installed for a very different reason. Staff members kept complaining about hearing weird stuff late at night, like little shuffles or thuds, long after the store was empty. The owner finally decided to put up a camera to see what was really going on.
After they started reviewing the tapes, a really unnerving pattern started to emerge. Whatever was making the noise, it was happening with clockwork consistency, right around 2:13 in the morning.
Which brings us to Section 2, the 213 anomaly. Let's take a look at what the camera actually saw.
At first, the footage is exactly what you'd expect. I mean, it's boring, right? You've got empty aisles, fully stocked shelves, and absolute stillness. The store is locked up tight, a completely normal scene, until, all of a sudden, it isn't.
The very first weird thing is subtle. You could almost miss it. It's not a person, it's not an animal, it's just this fleeting, kind of shapeless shadow that just drifts into the frame near a locked employee entrance.
Now the owner and the police later on, they reviewed hours of footage leading up to this, and they confirmed it. Nobody had entered that store since the last employee locked the doors hours earlier.
And get this, the camera has a clear shot of both the back door and the front entrance. Both remained shut, both remained locked. There was literally no physical way for anyone or anything to have gotten inside.
And here's the kicker. The store had a pretty sophisticated alarm system, right? Motion sensors, door contacts, the whole shebang. It stayed completely silent. As far as the security system was concerned, the store was empty. But the camera? Well, the camera was telling a whole different story.
All right, Section 3, evidence of an unseen. Because what happened next over in Aisle 9 is what took this from just a strange occurrence to a full-blown incident.
Things escalate, and they escalate fast. Just seconds after that shadow shows up, stuff on a shelf in Aisle 9 starts to fall. But here's the thing. They don't all crash down at once like you'd see in an earthquake. No, they fall one by one by one, almost as if they're being pushed off, deliberately.
This quote actually comes directly from the store owner's initial report. And honestly, it's chilling. He said that watching the items fall in that specific order felt like an unseen person was just casually strolling down the aisle, knocking things over as they went.
So let's break down this critical sequence. At 2:13 and 2 seconds, the shadow appears. 7 seconds later, the first item falls. But 5 seconds after that, and they only saw this when they reviewed the footage frame by frame, for a split second, a faint, almost translucent figure appears right where the items are falling. So now what? Well, that brings us to Section 4, the unsolved file. The footage led to an official investigation, but honestly, the findings just made the whole thing even more mysterious.
The police report was short and sweet. They searched the store, found 0 signs of a break-in. No fingerprints, no footprints, absolutely nothing. So with no suspects and no logical explanation, they just filed the case away as unexplained, and it is still open to this day.
This really only leaves us with 2 competing explanations. Theory A is the technical one. A camera glitch, a trick of the light, some kind of video error caused the shadow and the falling items were just a weird coincidence. Then there's Theory B, the paranormal one, that the camera captured exactly what it saw, an unseen entity moving through that store.
And that's pretty much where the case stands. It's a fork in the road. You can go left and believe it was just a simple, boring glitch. Or you can go right and consider that maybe, just maybe, it was something far more disturbing. Was it just a malfunction, or did this camera accidentally film something that can walk through locked doors in the dead of night? So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Forget all the theories for a second. Just put yourself in the store owner's shoes. It's late, you're watching the security feed, and you see this. What's your next move? Do you just write it off as a technical problem, or do you start to wonder what else is in that store with you after dark?